A father's last gift to his daughter. My name is Emily, and this is the story of the last gift my father left for me. A gift I didn't understand until the day I lost him. People often say love is loud, filled with words and hugs and constant affection. But my father wasn't like that. He loved quietly, so quietly that most of my childhood I thought he was distant. But now I know he was the closest anyone had ever been. He wasn't a man of many words. He didn't know how to express feelings, but he showed love in small ways that I didn't notice before. When I was little, he woke up early to make my school lunch, no matter how tired he was. If rain fell suddenly, he would appear at the school gate with an umbrella, pretending he was just passing by. At night, he waited in the dark living room until he heard the sound of my key turning in the door. He always acted like he had just woken up, but I knew now. He never slept until I came home. As I grew older, life changed. I moved to the city for college. I told myself I was becoming independent, building my future, becoming busy. Dad would call sometimes. My answers became shorter. "I'm busy, Dad. I'll call you later." But later never came. He never complained, but I could hear loneliness hidden between his breaths. Still, I ignored it. I always thought there would be time. Time to visit, time to talk, time to make things right. But time doesn't wait. One winter morning, just as I was rushing to work, my phone rang. The voice on the other end was calm but urgent. "Is this Emily? Your father has been admitted to Mercy Hospital. You should come." The world seemed to tilt. My father had never been sick, not the kind that needed a hospital. I rushed there, heart racing. When I entered the room, I saw him lying there, smaller than I remembered, weaker than I imagined. His eyes slowly opened. A faint smile appeared. "Emily, you came." 3 simple words, and they broke me, because I realized he wasn't waiting for grand gestures. He just wanted my presence, something I had denied him for years. A nurse walked in carrying a small wooden box. She placed it gently in my hands. "Your father asked us to give you this." The box was smooth, handmade. My father used to carve wood in his free time, but I never paid attention. Inside was a folded letter, a silver music box, a photograph of me at age 6, and a tiny key on a chain. My father looked at me, voice weak. "Open. Later." He didn't have strength for more. I held his hand as his breathing grew slower, softer. He whispered, "Everything I did was for you." I tried to speak, to tell him I was sorry, that I loved him, that I wished I could go back and give him all the time he deserved, but the words stuck inside me. Before I could say anything, his eyes closed, and this time they didn't open again. After the funeral, I went home and opened his letter. His handwriting was shaky but full of feeling. "My dear Emily, I know I wasn't good with words, but every day of my life, I loved you more than I loved myself. When you were little, you had nightmares. I made this music box, and every night I sat by your bed playing this melody until you fell asleep in my arms. I never told you because I didn't want you to feel afraid. The key opens a drawer in your old room. Inside are the things I kept safe. Your drawings, your letters, your first lost tooth. Every piece of you was precious to me. No matter where life takes you, remember this: you will always be my little girl. Love, Dad." My hands shook as I read the words. Tears fell onto the paper. The music box suddenly felt heavier. I wound it gently and the melody softly filled the air. The same tune that comforted me as a child, the tune I never realized came from him. I went back to our old house. The rooms felt frozen in time. When I opened the drawer in my childhood room, the key fit perfectly. Inside were things I had forgotten: messy crayon drawings, my kindergarten report card, a ribbon from my first school race. On top of them all was a note in his handwriting: Emily's treasures, handle with love. And that's when I broke completely. All these years, I thought he didn't show love. He had been showing it every single day. I sat on my old bed, holding the music box close to my heart. The melody played softly, wrapping me in the warmth of memories I didn't know I needed. "Dad," I whispered, "I hear you now." He loved me in the only way he knew: through actions, through silence, through every small sacrifice I overlooked. Some gifts arrive late, some are understood only in absence, but a father's last gift stays forever. If someone is waiting for your call, your time, your forgiveness, don't wait. Don't repeat my mistake. Love is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's hidden, and sometimes it's too late before we understand. Subscribe now, join the Bright World English Academy family, and let's start your English learning journey together.